the Black Onion's gonna talk about movies. Yeah. You know, I like movies. I really get into them. I like the character development and the characters. I'm not an expert, but I'm coming at this of a perspective of a person who likes to go to the movies and likes to really get into the movies. If it's believable, I place myself in there as I'm an observer at what's going on. So I really dig movies. So that's my perspective going into this. So when when I'm reviewing Corky's movie scenes, I'll be doing it in that perspective, just so that you know.
So you think you can move from the west side to the east side and pedal your crack on a different playground? And we're not gonna notice? You must think this is a big city, Paco. Or whatever you're calling yourself these days. You see, us cops, we talk to each other. Hands behind your back.
Now I think what they're going for is like a cop movie or one of those cop drama TV shows like CSI or Law and Order or NCIS or whatever, some kind of show like that, or else a movie. Maybe it's about Paco's life and the crime. Maybe it's a mafia movie. I don't know, but I'm really not convinced here that Nick is really a cop. It just especially a cop, a plainclothes cop, a detective of some sort. He's got his leather jacket on. Maybe that's just a prop they told him to wear. I'm just not buying it. I just don't feel this one. I don't feel as an observer that this is a realistic situation, or it doesn't necessarily have to be realistic, that this is a believable situation. The only real good actor in this is the bald guy, but I believe that's Paco, but I just don't believe Nick is a cop. Maybe that's not the part he should play, but I was just not convinced on this one.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I think Julie is trying to kill me. Hey, let me hide at your beach house. She doesn't know you. I'll be safe there. I thought it was weird when she approached me at the cafe like we were long lost friends, but now it's getting really scary.
This one is really hard to read. Julie's trying to kill him, or he thinks that Julie's trying to kill. I don't get the context of this one. Is he crazy and paranoid, or it's just kind of like this. I don't know. Maybe this would be part of a soap opera. I don't know. I haven't watched those, but some kind of a horror movie where Julie's possessed by an alien. I don't know. I'd say this is better than the cop one. He's a little more convincing of being some paranoid, crazed guy or something. I don't even know if that's what they're trying to go for, because there's no context to this one. The other one, you knew it was about a cop talking to some criminal, but this one, he's talking to some guy in the kitchen and worried about some woman that's trying to kill him, and why would she want to kill him? And I don't know, but I don't know. I'd give this one better than the cop one, but since I don't have any context, I really can't give a good assessment of this one.
Mrs. O'Connor, I assure you, you have a valid case. Just because no one has ever tried to sue someone for calling their dog a bitch doesn't mean you won't win. In fact, you could be setting a new precedent. The world would thank you for it.
Now, this one, he's playing some sleazy lawyer. Now, my favorite show on TV right now is Better Call Saul. So I like the sleazy lawyer character. He definitely doesn't do anything close to Bob Oglethorpe, or whatever his name is, the guy who plays Saul Goodman. But he does pass on this one. Of all the clips, this is the best one. And I think the reason why it's believable, because it's closest to Corky's real character. Corky was fortunate enough to get a law degree. And there are idiots out there, lawyers. I've met a few idiot lawyers. So it's not beyond beyond reason that he could possibly become a lawyer. He could have if he, came from a rich family and was able to get through law school somehow. Um, that he would resort to. He's the easy way out type guy. So this fits the Corky character, which makes this character a little bit more believable. That he would be the type of lawyer who would try some sleazy things just to get paid. Take on cases that there's no way he's winning just so he can get the money that people pay up front. Doesn't care if he wins or loses, kind of thing. That to me is a little bit believable. Of him being a lawyer that plans to change the law to suit himself. I don't know if I buy that, but I do buy Cork. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, as far as Corky's character, the person I know of Corky to be, the character fits him. So this is a pretty good one.
There's this feeling of euphoria that only comes from having complete control over another being. I love to watch them struggle, beg, cry for mercy. I don't even know what I'm going to do next. I let their bodies speak to me, their deepest fears. It's truly amazing.
This one is my second best because Corky, you gotta be honest, he's a creepy guy. He likes to lurk at, young underage girls on Facebook. He's been caught doing that. He wants to have power over people. That is definitely Corky, but Corky could never be this character because as much as he wants to have power over people, he never will. He'll never have power over anybody. But he wants power over people. He wants revenge on people who he blames for him ruining his life when he ruined his own life. Because he's a delusional person. That's why I give this one the second best. I don't think the acting is really that good. I definitely wasn't convinced that he was this, character, this vampire-ish, ghoulish character in some kind of a horror movie, sci-fi thriller or something, or maybe it's some serial killer thing, but I don't know what the context of this either. But as far as playing a creepy person, I think Corky would fit that. Does he look that though? I don't really think he does, but he somewhat, he didn't do bad in this, although I wasn't convinced. So I'll give this the second best, but really the lawyer one's the best, and then the one in the kitchen, and then the cop one's the worst. So that's my assessment of Corky's acting abilities. If he's playing a part that's close to his real character, like some sleazy lawyer, some sleazy person, yeah. Playing a creeper, yeah. I think his best roles is being a retard. I mean that because that's his natural state. But as far as being a creepy guy, because he is a creepy guy, as far as being a shady lawyer, because we know he was a shady real estater, not a patsy, because he knew what he was doing. I mean, sure, he got used, but he still wasn't no patsy. Unless patsy means you're being used, Dan. But, the whole thing about him, stealing all that money, spending it, buying a car, showing off how much better he is than everybody else on stolen money. He knew that money wasn't his. He knew it wasn't up and up. He forged documents. So he's kind of like that sleazy lawyer. And he creeps around looking at young girls, and he makes death threats to people he don't like. So he fits with those last two characters. The cop, ain't no way in the world he could ever play a cop. Not a tough cop anyway. Maybe some rookie loser cop in some back area of Manhattan where they just put the just because they need a cop in the area kind of guy. But no, he doesn't convince me. Any of these roles, really. The lawyer one, I could picture him doing that. Being the creepy serial killer, vampire, whatever the hell he was trying to be in the fourth one. That one, little bit, but not really. Maybe that's because I got my own bias in there because I know Corky quite a bit from watching him over the years. But I think his acting ability, my opinion, they're lazy. He, in the first one with the cop, he just sitting there with a shit-eating grin on his face. There's no real, being, no real acting. He's just like he's reading a line, And then the one I really can't judge very well is the second one because you need context in that one the most of all. Have no idea what the context is, He thinks some girl's trying to kill him and he's worried and he does look a little bit worried, so that one, it wasn't too bad. Paranoid. I don't know how paranoid he is in life, but he did pull off being paranoid a little bit. So, he might have a part in some B movies. He might be able to be some person has 2 or 3 lines in a movie kind of guy. I could see. He'd have to know somebody. He'd have to blow somebody to get those parts. So, anyway, that's my critique of Corky's acting abilities.